Welcome back, guys. In this lesson, we are going to keep working with Dave so that we can actually control him. So, the first thing I want to do here, because we've added source control, is to actually use it. Yeah. So let's commit all of our changes here because we've added so much. So let's call it initial changes maybe, or initial scripts, or maybe Dave control, or maybe Dave rigid body, or maybe Dave. Let's actually call it Dave. That's actually straightforward. Okay, and when all of the changes has been committed, we can keep going. Okay, perfect. All of our changes have been committed. So let's go back to Dave. In the previous one, we've seen that we were able to control Dave with the player controller, but by managing or editing the velocity. So now what we are going to do is to move him using this velocity, but we are not going to change or set the velocity right away. What we are going to do instead is use our joystick that I've added as a resource attached to this lesson to move Dave. So let's actually open the prefabs folder inside of assets, mobile joystick, prefabs, drag the mobile joystick zone inside of our hierarchy. And right away, we can notice some weird things here. This is because the joystick zone must be dropped inside of a canvas. A canvas is actually used to display or use UI elements in Unity. So for that, I'm going to right-click, select UI, canvas. Perfect. Let's first set up our canvas here. We are not going to deal with the canvas component, nor the graphics raycaster, but let's have a look at the canvas scaler component. Right now, it's using a constant pixel size. Instead, what we want to do is scale with the screen size so that it's actually better rendered on all displays. So we are dealing or making a landscape game, so we want to select width. And for the reference resolution, I'm going to set it to 1920 by 1080p. Perfect. So if you press F in the scene view, it's going to focus your canvas. Perfect. You can actually select the rect tool to have a better way of the bounds of the canvas. Awesome. We can now grab our mobile joystick zone and drop it inside of the canvas. Here we go. So we can actually rearrange this a bit more and select the zone we want the joystick to actually be controllable. So I'm going to set it to something around here, because we can imagine having some buttons at the top right and the top left of the screen. All right. So now you can actually have a look at other resolutions. So iPhone 12 mini, Apple iPhone SE, Pixel, Galaxy S10, and here we go. Perfect. So now if we hit play, we should be able to control the joystick already. So let's try that. Yeah, here we go. So it seems a little bit weird because it's not set up correctly right now. So what I'm going to do is actually go down, select the mobile joystick component, which is right here, and set the move factor to 1. Let's now hit play again. If we try this out, it's way better already. It's a little bit weird still, but we can tweak this value to make it fit our needs. So 0.5, maybe 0.7. Yeah, 0.7 seems cool. All right, let's try on another device. Yeah. Okay, so 0.7 definitely looks really cool. All right, so we now have a joystick. And by the way, I've provided the joystick here, but I'm going to attach, I think it's 4 lessons from a previous course. It was the hybrid casual one, where I explained how you can make this exact joystick. All right. If we select the mobile joystick right here, we can notice that it has a mobile joystick component attached to it. Let's open it. Cool. So it has a bunch of variables and methods. It's actually really simple when you know what you're doing, and you are going to reach that stage. I promise you, if you follow this course, you are going to be able to write way more complex things than this one. All right. So everything here seems to be private. This is public. Okay, so this is private. But one thing that is important to us here is the get move vector method, because it is public, so we can access it from the player controller, so from everywhere else, and use it to set up our velocity here. So you now know how to create references to other objects or scripts. So as a quick exercise, 5 seconds, define a reference to the mobile joystick script right here, like we've done for the rigid body 2D previously. 5, 4, 3. You can actually pause because, yeah, 5 seconds is actually, no, 5 seconds is enough. 1, 0. All right, we are going to write serialize field, private again, as we've said previously, mobile joystick, and let's actually call it joystick, like so. So we first need to set the class type, then the name that you want to give it. And a convention in C# is to write the name of your variables in camel case. So if you have one word, it's going to start with a lowercase letter. But if you have multiple words, so joystick, let's actually call it player joystick. So player joystick, like so. So the first letter should be in lowercase, and all of the other first word letters should be uppercase. I hope it's clear. I think you got it. All right. So let's now use the player joystick to control our Dave guy. So we can simply write inside of the update method. And again, this is not the best way to do it, but I'm going to show you first this way and then the better way. Rig.velocity equals player joystick.getMoveVector. Here we go. So let's now go back to Unity. We know that the joystick does return a vector2, x and y. So this is really useful in our case. So let's now select Dave and reference the mobile joystick. We can save, hit play, and if we don't move our joystick, Dave is not going to move because the move vector is actually 0, 0. But if we move it just a little bit, oh, we can start seeing Dave moving. Ooh, that is so nice. So now you know how to control a character or any object using a joystick. How cool is that? This is actually a huge step, so you need to celebrate that. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. So where is Dave now? Dave is actually really far. He's at 41.5. So let's reset its position like so. And you can notice that it's actually really sensitive here. So we need to bring or tune down the sensitivity. And a way to do that is to add another variable inside of our player controller. So let's add it. Serialize field, private float, move speed, like so. And what we can do right here is use the get move vector, so the vector2 times the move speed. That's helping us tune down Dave's speed. So let's now go back to Unity. All right, let's set the move speed to, I don't know, I think 1 was a little bit too much, so maybe 0.1, only 10% of what we had previously. Should be good, actually. So yeah, that's actually already pretty cool. Yeah, I love it. Okay, cool. But there is another issue here. Dave is too big. Have you noticed? Dave is huge. So we need to make it a little bit smaller. So what we are going to do is set its scale to 0.3.3. Here we go. That's way better. That way we can have the arena around him. So maybe the arena can be the size of the screen here. Maybe 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units tall, or maybe 10 because we have 2 ways, yeah. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we are going to make it 5 by 8. Yeah, it might be better. Anyway, we're going to check that later on. Right now, there is something more important here. First off, I want to hide this black opacity thing here, or transparent image. And for that, we are just going to select the mobile joystick zone, select the color property of the image here, and tune it down to 0. Perfect. Now it's fully transparent. That's one thing. The second thing, which is also really important, is to multiply our vector by time.delta time. This will make it responsive across different devices because you will have old devices, old phones, and new devices. And some are more performant than others, of course. So we need to take the frame rate into consideration here. And that's how you do it. Okay, so now if we hit play, Dave is going to go a little bit slower. So let's try and move him, sorry. Yeah, he's definitely too slow. So what we can do is, again, increase its move speed. Yep, 3 seems decent, but still too slow. Yeah, 7 is okay. Okay, let's keep 7 for now. Perfect. So now that we have configured Dave's movement. Oh, one thing here, quick tip for beginners. If you are inside of the play mode and you try and change a variable, so let's say 15 for here, yeah, that now Dave is faster. But if we exit the play mode, Unity brings back the previous value. So keep that in mind. So one way you could do is to keep the value in your mind and then add it if you exit or when you exit the play mode. Or what you can do is copy it, just Control C, Command C, and then paste it whenever you're done. That's one thing. The second thing I wanted to tell you is that if we hit play again and move outside of the bounds of the camera, Dave is not visible anymore. So we now need to move the camera along with Dave up to a certain extent. And this is what we're going to see in the next section. See you there.